So me so proper missile, and how do you say, the minigun.
Yeah,
I would say I use like a jet. Like you can see the fire from the exhaust, like full time. We risk our life, but it is what it is, Like, and hopefully you get a good machines. I want to have like proper missile, and how do you say, the minigun.
Yeah, the one with the Tommy gun with the.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and oil like a oil leak weapon.
Yeah,
something like that.
perfect. Mad Max style, love it. What's happening, guys? My name is Becky Evans and welcome to Motorfest, the podcast, brought to you by Red Bull and Ubisoft's iconic game, The Crew Motorfest. This is the podcast where I get to chat with some of the world's leading motorsport athletes and delve into their passions for all things speed, wings and wheels. And the really cool thing is, you can actually listen into this podcast whilst you're playing the game. Today's guest was born with some serious athlete instincts. I'd be very surprised if you hadn't seen or heard of him. His name is Yuki Tsunoda, and what he's most famous for is his electrifying talent on the F1 grid. He's been racing for about 20 years. Well, that's if you also include his career as a kid go-karter, growing up in Sekigahara, about an hour away from Tokyo. He lives in Italy currently, but he's joining me today here in Milton Keynes. Yuki, thanks so much for being here and welcome to the show. How are you?
Amazing. Just in the UK. Just flew back from Brazil. Just have a bit of 2 weeks gap, so excited for a bit of rest now.
So let's jump straight into it, Yuki. You've been described as a person who lights up a room when you walk into it. You're someone who knows exactly what you want, and you're unashamed and unafraid to express it. And in terms of your identity as a driver, you're known for quite a modern driving style. Could you break down what you feel your driving style is for us watching you on the screen?
My driving style, mainly, I have good confidence with the braking. So, I'm good at attacking the braking. So you can use that also in, the 1 lap qualifying lap, hot lap, and also to overtake someone. I think this is coming from the karting skills when I was very, very young, like, 13, 20, and 12 years old or whatever. My dad used to teach me a lot about braking, and that kind of base or DNA still inside my driving skill. And definitely I like to attack braking. Recently, last Grand Prix was a bit too much sometimes, and unfortunately a couple of times went to the wall. But still have good confidence, and feels great when you feel the G-force, the maximum longitudinal G-force when you have nailed the great braking.
How do you feel that you have evolved as a driver over these years, obviously starting in go-karting and then to present day?
Yeah, a lot of things. When I was karting, there were a lot of emotional things that probably, as a human, I was growing significantly, fast, and especially those times. And at some point, I even didn't like much motorsports. I got distracted by other sports. I'm a person I want to try a lot of sports. I'm very active. So I tried downhill mountain biking, swimming, a lot of kind of stuff, skateboarding, for example. And I knew somewhere in my mind that motorsport is the things that probably I'm very good at. And I started 4 years old, and there's always a strong passion inside my heart. So it started. It's kind of went through those moments, and evolved throughout the years. And especially compared to first day Formula 1, which was 2021, and compared to now, it's a lot different. Even at 4 years, this kind of environment makes my mindset as very strong as a human. Not just inside of racing, also outside of racing. I feel like in general place I feel grown.
That explains so much. When I watched you on that Red Bull series where it was you trying different sports, you absolutely shone, because it was just like getting to do other things, and you were so happy and excited.
Yeah, serious race series, I think that though, I know you try to race with the vehicle that you don't normally race with, and adaptation to that is quite key. And probably because of us doing a lot of sports, you get used to it with adapting to some sports immediately. So probably that's why I'm good at it. And also the moments I feel a lot of adrenaline, I have to go flat out. I go straight up from the straight away from the, once I hold the steering and see how it goes. And those kind of moments are really, really exciting.
Yuki, I feel like you'd make a great drift driver. From everything you just said there, I think you'd be very good at it. I can't wait for the day to see you in a drift car.
Hey, I love drifting. Yes, when I was in karting, rank condition, for example, like you can drift around, right? Like especially, corner entry, it's actually sometimes good to drift a little bit to rotate the car and to drive fast in the corner. But current Formula One, like it's hard to drift. You can drift, but not the drift that probably every people thinking about. It's not like Tokyo Drift. You can't just drift all the way through a corner. Sometimes actually drifting is good training for us because of it's still there's a lot of sliding while in the hot lap, but because of we got used to too much with the grip, like trying to not slide too much, sometimes you can't really react as much as you used to be. So actually drifting training is some drivers does it, and actually some point even like when I went back to Japan, I do some time on the snow, doing something drifting and just have fun.
This is a question I'm asking all of my guests in all seriousness. If you could be a car, a plane, a boat or a motorbike, which would you be and why?
Oh, good question. I'm thinking either plane or motorbike. I think the plane is quite good because you can fly around. But probably you'll be boring. You see just same view all the time. So above the clouds, so I would choose motorbike.
Yeah, we're like trying to match people's personalities with which vehicle they take. I love the fact that you chose the plane. You're like, kind of boring.
Yeah,
floating about up there. We'll take the motorbike.
I'm actually quite easy to get boring with any sports. That's why I got distracted in a lot of sports. That's probably one of the reasons that I got distracted. But it's just easy to get bored.
That's my favourite tagline from this podcast. Yuki Tsunoda, great driver, easily distracted. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, you've been driving for a very long time. Your father was a mechanic and a former car racer himself. How has his influence been pivotal on your career?
Yeah, definitely my dad. Influenced my career a lot of parts, and like I said previously, that for example driving, part of my driving skill that I have a lot of confidence in the braking. Definitely my dad gave a lot of tips about braking, and he's the one who always saying like, when you start, first thing you enter to the corner, the first thing you do is braking, right? Maybe some corners doesn't do it, but that brake, how you brake will affect your car movements afterwards. So braking is actually really important part of the corner. And he loved to do something mechanics, like touching some cars, karting and set up the cars, and also probably he used to do a bit of motorsports as well, so he enjoyed doing a lot of doing motorsports with me. And I think he was always part of my career until especially like 14 years old. He was very strict, started 4 years old, like we started casually, and once I actually started to win, probably he saw this bit of talent myself, and maybe he thought probably we thought that maybe we can be professional driver at some point, but to step up like that way, we need to be more serious to motorsports, and he's the one started a bit more serious and strict, and that's why one of the reasons that I didn't sometimes do like motorsports, because he was always the person like angry, mad at me, like when I have bad race, he's the one who really mad at me and didn't really enjoy it, but without those things and without his teach or taught, like lesson, I wouldn't be here. So I very appreciate him.
I think it makes a better driver, genuinely. I did go-karting when I was 7 years old, and my dad was always like, it's okay, sweetie. I remember hitting I remember the cone in the middle of the track, to separate the pack for the transponders. I just drove straight through it, and I came off the track, and my dad was like, it's okay, sweetheart. we'll go again next time. Club forwards. I'm not a champion driver, so like I can totally appreciate the strictness from dads. It definitely gives you a good level of discipline.
Sometimes actually, I was always watching the drivers or the family dads, like the parents teaching to their kids very kindly, and I would always compare to my situation with my dad, like, my dad, I would love to have like that kind of bit of kindness, you know, when you teach me something, because like, you know, like sometimes it's a bit too much strict, but probably because of he know my personality, like I don't really recognize until I experience something really bad. But he knew about my personality, especially those kind of, I would say negative side, but you know, one of the bit of weakness of myself to progress the karting, and well, that's why he was being very aggressive to me.
You were 7 years old when you went to your first F1 race. That must have made a huge impact. Like, what can you remember from that very first F1 race?
First time I saw Formula One, like I said, 7 years old, when I went to Fuji Speedway in Japan, Japanese Grand Prix. I think initial impression from Formula One was just too loud. First of all, the engine sounds, and I remember like I was always covering the ears. To be honest, obviously, if I hear that, it's just amazing sound, like V10, you know, like it's so cool. But at that point, I was like get annoyed with that sound every time the cars come, you know, pass in front of me. You just have to always cover the ear, and still you can hear through the, you know, the hands. So yeah, like I didn't really have a good impression about Formula One, but at the same time, I got impressed about the environment, you know, how the Formula One race works, and all the drivers, how the high quality drivers are. And definitely I dream about, or one day I want to be a Formula One driver, but hopefully less sounds.
I mean, taking that thought and cut to 2020 and your first experience driving an F1 car. It was a test session at Imola circuit. You were driving the Toro Rosso STR13. Can you describe that car and those crazy first sensations when you drove it?
I still remember first time I drove Formula One. It was like, first of all, I got impressed about initial longitudinal G-force after I accelerate. Just like the acceleration power I felt was you can't compare with anything, you know. The vehicle I drove until then, and just it has so much power. And even actually, it was first time I drove was rain condition, which is kind of, you know, less grip obviously because rain condition, a bit more slippery, so you can't experience fully. It's not like dry conditions, so you can't really feel the full power of Formula One, but still with the rain condition, feel massive power. And also one thing I got really impressed most was the braking. So like even rain condition, normally you press brake half of pressure compared to the dry condition. So there's a bit of step compared to Formula 3 to Formula 2. There's a change to carbon brake in Formula 2, and I still remember Formula 2 first time brake. I still got surprised, but like 2, 3, 10 times more. Like one brake, like my neck went immediately forward, and like almost I touched the steering. Luckily not, but like okay, no, it's brake is very like kind of serious power. You know, most of the time after that, you try to tense your big neck and brake, and normally you'll be okay. It was like that situation in Formula 2, but every time even that I tense my neck, it's still my neck went forward. You know, like the power of the brake, I got like super surprised about that.
Let's talk about F1. It is the pinnacle of motorsport, the highest class of single-seater racing. It's all about speed, positioning, pushing the machine to the limit. F1